Finding your audience in comedy. You know, a lot of what this podcast is mental health and talking about obstacles and overcoming them, more importantly, and how I'm doing this on my way to be a professional stand-up comedian. However, sometimes I use these as a note to self, as I mentioned in a prior episode, because it helps not just remember something learned, but it also helps instilling it because I'm making an imprint of this moment, right? So recently, I learned an extremely important lesson. I'm sharing it, which is this: finding your audience in stand-up comedy. You know, when I test material, I had recently learned, out of all the years doing this, the best way to do that, which is testing my material, okay, on an audience or an individual that I know already likes and has my sense of humor. And the reason why is because the people that have my sense of humor should be my entire audience. So if I specifically try out material on someone that is not random, that I know has my sense of humor, I know that that will work for my entire crowd generally. Now, I want to do this for more than one individual. However, if I say to someone random that might not have my sense of humor and it makes them laugh, anybody else outside of my target audience, okay, is a bonus. But I need to start with my base. And it's been such a huge improvement in my comedy writing and my testing and application, because it really is a science. It's a scientific method. You know, you have a hypothesis, you have an idea, okay, you test the premises, and then you analyze it. And then you improve it or discard it, or it's perfect, you just leave it as is, right? I really do. I'm a big nerd, so I use a scientific approach when it comes to comedy, but realistically, the scientific method is foolproof for anything, period. Whether it's talking to a girl, swinging a baseball bat, you name it, right? Now, there's another way of doing this too, and it could be targeting an individual or individuals, okay, that have my background, so that we already start off by having a similarity and it's something that's pretty deep. So, for example, my perfect ideal audience would be police officers and military. I love cops. I love what they do. First responders are great as well. But as an Army veteran, I really do believe in that one team, one fight principle. You know, because it's because of police officers that you guys can go to bed at night in this country and not think about the crazy stuff like being bombed or random people just, you know, coming into your house. We have in America a great presence of great police officers and military that keeps foreign and domestic enemies at bay, right? And I respect them, and they have the best sense of humor. Man, they got the best sense of humor because their job is very serious. So they may have a dark sense of humor, but for sure, they love to laugh, and they have to. They got to constantly be light because they're always kind of dealing with some darkness, right? But again, outside of those people, in addition to those people, there's tons of great people that support them, that like them. And it's a weird thing because these commonalities and whatnot that these group of people have, police and military, law enforcement, first responders, and the people that may not have done that job but appreciate that job also similarly share a sense of humor to what they do, because I think they're pretty thoughtful into the insight that the kind of jobs that these guys and gals have, you know? So more than likely, if you like cops, if you like the military, you're going to like me too, right? And again, spreading that net, so to speak, even wider, if what I say, none of that applies to you as far as you loving cops. You might hate cops, okay? You might hate America. But if I can still make you laugh, and that's not a part of the type of audience, you may still have my sense of humor, my type of humor, right? And if you don't have any of the above, if you're outside of all of these and I can still make you laugh, well, then that's just a bonus, okay? But I have to target a specific group. But the best way I can really test that out, instead of trying to find random cops, instead of talking to random people that are looking for people in the military to try out a joke, I'm now going to select individuals, more than one, because similarly to a magic trick, you can only really test out a joke once, even if somebody has your sense of humor. And again, going back to the scientific method, if by chance, all right, I have a joke and I want to try it out, I go to this one guy first, right? And I test it out, get his reaction. And when you try something, it can go one of a few ways. You either have it right on the bat, it's perfect and it's done. It could not work at all, and throw it away. Or there could maybe be something there, or you could think there's something there. Then you got to test it out a little bit more. So if I test it out a little bit more, I do the exact thing. Okay, if it like 50% works, and I got to try it on somebody else, because I can only really have that first impression one time, right? So I go to the next guy, and then when I test out the one that was like 50% working, it could go further. I'll make some adjustments, and whether I try it once or again, that exact joke with somebody else, it could go more in the direction of 100% working or more in the direction of not working. But I need to try it out like a few different times in a few different ways to really get a handle as far as whether it's going closer to the not working side and I thought I had something, or closer to the working side. It's no different than talking to a girl. You might have a first impression talking with a girl and it's not that great. And you can continue to try to talk to her and you might turn things around. Or the more you talk to her, the more she could want to get away from you, right? So, yeah, that's my analysis of something that I learned. It's been a huge blessing, because for the longest, for years, up until maybe 10 days ago, ballpark figure, right? I didn't really know how to target my material, and I would be very random with it. But now that I do, the results that I'm getting are so much better and so much faster. And I wanted to document this, not just to make an imprint for myself to remember it, but again, as always, to constantly instill it. So anyway, thank you guys so much for listening to my random note. Hopefully you can apply what I said to you if you sell cars or swing a baseball bat, right? As far as the scientific method goes or something like that. But hopefully there's something in here that can benefit you. Because again, this is primarily about mental health, and it's called psychological warfare, right? And it really is documenting my trials and more importantly, overcoming them on the way to be a professional stand-up comedian. However, if there's anything that I say here today that helps you out, the better. And I'm really happy to do that. That's great. So with that being mentioned, I'm at the grocery store. It's like 6:20 in the morning. I don't ever come this early, but I got a pretty packed day. And I got to get some stuff, get back to my house, and then start to do everything else. Stretch, exercise, get out again. I got a lot going on. So y'all have a beautiful day. I'm Benj Well Done. Thank you so much for your time. I'm out. Peace.